Hey, I'm Joe Fier, and welcome to the Hustle and Flow Chart podcast. This is where we talk all about building businesses so they give you the freedom and fuel for your life. I'm not here to help you build a billion-dollar business, but I am here to help you create a business with systems that work for you so you can make more money than you need just by working part-time. You know, I was a chronic hustle mode kind of guy, and I want to share my experiences and mentors I've met along the way to help you reframe things to be the most effective as an entrepreneur. I wish I had this guidance and insight when I was younger, so that's what I'm doing here for you. Please share and enjoy. What is up? What is up? Today, I'm going to get a little tactical with ya. So this episode, I want to get into different AI tools for podcasters and creators, but I'm going to lean more on the audio side of things. But in the future episode, I'm sure I'll get into video and all that stuff. But right now, I'm more into the audio and figured out how to streamline this show more than anything. Because, you know, Hustle and Flow Chart, this is a restart of the show. It's me as the host. Matt ain't here anymore as a co-host, but he is joining us as guest episodes every now and then. But now, you know, this is me re-engineering what this show is that you're listening to, but also the tools and the production that happens after this thing is recorded, either a solo show or a guest show. And I'm not going to break down all the tools and the processes in this show specifically, but what I want to dive into are these tools I'm using that are AI or they're machine learning that you can then swipe and then test out if you're a podcaster or if you're thinking about creating a podcast. So this episode is going to be breaking down the different AI tools you could use as a podcaster or an audio creator. And trust me, there's a lot of video tools. And I want to give a shout out to Matt Wolf's new website and brand called futuretools.io. That's where I'm getting some of these inspirations from. So if you actually go to futuretools.io, he has a search feature at the top. And if you type in podcast, it'll get you all sorts of apps. Or you can do any of these selectors that he has, like speech to text or text to speech. There's video things. There's so many different ways to filter these apps. He's got over 100 last time I heard from him, already listed on futuretools.io. So I want to give a shout out to him. So these AI tools I'm about to list are things that I've been using and testing and kind of experimenting as I'm scaling this podcast out and bringing it back to life. So I'm going to start with the one that most people probably have heard of. It's ChatGPT. And this thing, I mean, it's kind of like a treasure box of however you want to prompt this thing. It's going to give you an answer. And the key thing, this is what Matt told me the other day when we were chatting, is it's all about prompt engineering. It's engineering the right prompt for ChatGPT to then give us an answer. And then we can prompt it further within that chat. That's kind of like a little secret he was telling me and the way it's built. So ChatGPT is a tool that you can use as a podcaster or a creator to help you come up with an outline for your episodes. You could prompt ChatGPT to help you out with different questions that you might want to ask someone in an interview based around a certain topic. You can learn about a topic really quickly. There's ways that you can actually plug transcripts into ChatGPT from a video on YouTube or maybe someone else's podcast or wherever you might find a transcript, or you want to decipher a bunch of information, and you can prompt ChatGPT with saying something like, hey, give me a summary in outline form or bullet point form using the following transcription. And then you can just paste the transcription in there. And then essentially it'll summarize what that whole transcription was. That could be a great way to prepare for a guest on your podcast or to summarize a topic or something you want to learn before chatting about something on a podcast or maybe on an interview, teaching yourself something. Lots of ways to use ChatGPT for podcasts. And, you know, I'm just scratching the surface here. It can even help you write emails. You can summarize shows and episodes and actually create better descriptions for your podcast episodes using ChatGPT. I'm going to give you another tool in a minute about that as well. But that's the first tool I got for you. Now, another tool that every podcaster is going to need is something to help you with the editing. Now, for the core of the editing of this podcast, I'm using DaVinci Resolve, and there's a little audio editing suite inside of there. I'm not super techie in there, but I am savvy enough to get it moving and create something that sounds, I think, pretty decent. DaVinci Resolve is a desktop app and that's free. There's a paid element. That's not the AI tool I'm talking about here, though. So what I like to do is do a lot of stuff inside of DaVinci Resolve. But then I started learning about these AI tools that can be great for cutting out the silences or the gaps between the audio in the audio recording, maybe with myself or with a guest. And there's ways to remove background noise, cut out maybe commentary or ums or uhs, all of these different little things. And it could speed up scenes, maybe things that you just don't want to drag out so long. And this kind of stuff works for video and audio. This isn't just tools for that. There's a couple tools that come up that I've tested, and there's one I like the most out of the two from that testing. One is called Time Bolt, and the other one is called WiseCut. So Time Bolt is the one I've used and enjoyed the most. And I believe, Matt told me that the founder of Time Bolt actually listens to this podcast, the Hustle and Flowchart podcast. So that's super rad. Hey, how you doing? We should chat sometime. But Time Bolt happened to be the app I like the most. You actually get to see the waveforms and get a little bit more like an editor inside there. Time Bolt and also this one called WiseCut, I would recommend trying both out. And they both have like a free element to it where you can see how they both work. So, you take your pick. But what I liked about Time Bolt is that it produces this waveform that I can look at, and then it immediately highlights all the different gaps or these different bits that should be cut out. And it'll automatically find this after kind of analyzing your audio. I believe it's analyzing the transcription as well. I haven't dug into all of that, but at the end of the day, it's basically eliminating the need to cut a bunch of this stuff out, and it's making me and my guests sound way better using the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Time Bolt is the one I'm going to recommend to do this kind of work for you, is to essentially clean up your audio and eliminate a lot of the cutting you might have to do in your editing program. And so this is basically saving me a bunch of time in DaVinci Resolve. So you have Time Bolt and you have WiseCut. Those are a couple editing type tools that you could choose from. Now, some other tools that can help you create the show notes for your podcast page. They can help you with your transcription as well, and different keywords for your episodes, different quotes that might have been said that then could be tweeted out, all these different things, timestamps. This can all be done with a couple of different AI tools that we have here. So one of them is called Decipher AI. So Decipher AI is one that essentially will generate this detailed show notes and timestamps for the podcast based off of the audio file you upload and the transcription. It's totally free. This one is one I liked out of the two that Future Tools has. And remember, futuretools.io, if you just go there, all the links are there. I'm not going to shout them out here because, you're going to get lost, and I'm probably going to missay something .io, .ai, I don't know, .com. So Melville app is the other one. And this one is kind of similar. They're all similar and not. Melville gives you a lot more options, I feel like. It kind of prompts you for further things. You can generate different types of text in different tones. It'll actually pull in your podcast or even other podcasts, it looks like, to then start to automate a lot of these features. Now, each of these, again, have a paid element. Decipher AI is actually free from what it looks like completely. I don't know if it will stay that way. And Melville has a free and a paid component. I like them both. Honestly, I like how Decipher, how simple it was. It just kind of produced it quicker. But Melville app looks pretty promising. So I'm going to keep my eye on both of them. I thought they were super helpful and just shortcuts. The whole thing of writing out a whole bunch of show notes now based off of a podcast that you just did. And sometimes, let's be honest, we record an episode, we edit it, or we have someone on our team do all this stuff, and then it's just like, okay, we just forget to even write the description, or maybe it's not written long enough, so it's not getting the SEO love. This tool or these tools help you at least get that ball moving, so then you can modify or add more to it. It actually gives you a starting point. That's why I love these AI tools. So that was Decipher AI and Melville app. Now, this last app I have not personally used yet, but it looked extremely promising, and I was deep diving on it actually before I noticed it was on Future Tools. So it's on Future Tools as well. It's called Podcastle, and this thing seems like an all-in-one way to record, edit, and then broadcast everything in one. So Podcastle, it looks like that's how this thing works. It's AI powered editing. There's actually studio recording before the editing process. And it helps you with exporting as well with multi-track recordings, transcription. There's editing that seems more intuitive than normal editing. There's text to speech. It also enhances your audio, cancels noise in the background. It seems like a pretty solid suite of tools all made in one. Now, I'm not using Podcastle currently. I'm actually using Riverside.fm when it comes to having a guest. That's just nice. I love it because it records the audio and the video from both sides and actually takes the local audio and then uploads simultaneously, from both sides of the conversation. So then I can get the best and cleanest audio and video. I got to look in, see if Podcastle actually does that side of things. That's why I love Riverside. But as a starting podcaster, I would probably say Podcastle would be one that I consider, especially if you don't have the editing background or you feel like you're just kind of pinched to do the production side of things. That's what I love about these AI tools, is that they're just kind of closing the gap on a lot of things. And Podcastle seems like it's the most robust kind of suite of tools as a podcaster, especially a beginning one. So there was a bunch of tools. I'm going to make sure they are listed, but I'm going to say one more time what they were. It was ChatGPT as kind of like a broad, hey, you can do a lot of different prompts. And I'm sure you've used ChatGPT by now, but just think about how to engineer prompts in a way that's going to benefit you as a podcaster and just get your mind going at first. It kind of gets your mind going in general without staring at a blank page. Let's say if you're just trying to come up with an episode topic or an outline for something, questions, research, super helpful with ChatGPT. Now, TimeBolt and Wisecut were a couple different options for editing. And then to produce your show notes and kind of help with the titling of your episodes and get some of the written aspect out there, Decipher AI was great, and Melville is also great. I mean, they're both pretty dang promising. I would try them both. They both have free elements. That's what's cool with most of these AI tools. And then the last one I mentioned was Podcastle, which seems like a lot more of a whole suite of products, and it's web-based as well. So you could do this stuff on the fly, and that has a freemium option. So lastly, I am going to shout out Future Tools. That's Matt Wolf's new website and brand. It's over at futuretools.io. He's not sponsoring this episode or anything. I just got to give my brother a shout out because that thing is an amazing resource of these AI tools and other tools that he keeps compiling daily. And you could just filter and search for any kind of problem or solution you're looking for. And likely there's an app out there that you can use. So go check that out, futuretools.io. Hope you found some value here as a podcaster. Keep a lookout and let me know if you want to hear something for other types of creators, video creators, writing. There's all sorts of different things. There's even animations and music. The rabbit hole goes deep in this one. So beware, don't try too many AI tools at once. All right. That's a fair warning right there for you. So thank you for listening again, and I'll see you in the next episode. All right. That's what I got for you today. And remember, it's not all about living to work. It's all about working to live, if you need to do the work. But work can be fun, and it should be fueling for your life. So if you enjoyed what you just heard, if you got some nuggets of wisdom that you want to share, or you're just noodling on right now, please go tell others. The way that people find this show and how you can help others get their aha moments is through word of mouth. So if it is telling your friend, telling your family, sending an email to your list, writing a review, or whatever it might be, everything helps. So thank you so much for listening to the Hustle and Flowchart podcast, and I will see you next time.